get a music intro for this.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's been so long since I saw you. I'm gonna kiss you now that I found you. It's the time under the table. We're gonna have a fun time fable.
We're back. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Wrath. I'm here with Mr. Pickles and Fred. We just wrapped up episode 4 of chapter 2 of the Savage Worlds campaign called Strange Town of Golden Ridge, DM'd by Mr. Pickles. We're here in Under the Table. This is a post-show segment where we kind of climb under the table and we're able to discuss all the secrets of the entire campaign as a whole. Basically, a full Q&A. Anything goes. You can ask anything. Obviously, Pickles won't give away spoilers. Like, hey, what's the answer to everything? He's not going to tell us, but we were able to ask questions or like dive in, maybe help explain some stuff if we missed some stuff, and you can partake as well. If you guys have questions here in the chat on the live stream, twitch.tv/theofficialwrath, you're able to catch these shows. You're more than welcome to ask. If you guys have questions on the YouTube, feel free to comment and we'll get to it maybe in the next episode, the next Under the Table. I can bring up those questions and see if Pickles can answer some of them. But in the meantime, I'm going to pass it over to our DM to kick us off.
Well, yeah, the first message that I have in my fan mailbox is how dare you? And
oh yeah,
I feel like that applies to this episode especially. No. Yeah, we talked before the session about my feelings about how I wrote this adventure and how it's coming about.
Right. Yeah.
And
there were
like
things
the
in
big
there
thing
that you said you wanted to bring up and Under the Table. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and it's a little bit meta. It's just that now that we're at the point where the next session will probably be the end of this adventure, much of this adventure was built on the premise that you guys would go places on your own once you arrived at this cabin.
We split up thing?
Yeah, like honestly, like you'd be like,
honestly,
fuck you, Travis. I'm just gonna wander in the woods, and or I'm gonna go to the lake. Or one of you would be like, yeah, well, fuck you. I'm staying at the cabin. Or you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with other people because I have charismatic and maybe streetwise, but that got retconned. I think you traded that, but reliable kept you around. But that was the premise I built this on, was that you guys would be going not off of clues, but off of opportunities. And I feel like that was a big flaw in this adventure for how I wrote it and why it might seem more jumbled than intended. Because once you guys hit it, you guys are clue-oriented characters and players.
But the whole premise for us coming out here was vacation, which we kind of tried to stick to.
Well, no, not me. I that.
Okay, my character tried to stick to the vacation.
Yeah.
As soon as stuff went to shit, he's like, no, I'm not dealing with this. I came out here to get away from the bullshit that happens in the town all the time.
So I think it's a little bit of both. I have to sneeze, so I apologize if I take a break for that. But it's a little bit of both. On the one hand, like right there.
Yeah, I feel that too much.
It hurts.
Let's stop focusing on it because everybody in our audience is watching on YouTube.
Everyone's
hey guys,
waiting.
Love you guys on YouTube. Don't believe the rumors that I hate you.
Okay. So, on the one hand, like, yes, I believe we are clue-oriented characters, but that's because we made detectives, quote unquote, right? And so they follow the clues, right? Evidence leads to the case. I think in regards to this episode, or into this adventure, we were sent on a forced vacation. Travis King wants nothing to do with this forced vacation. He's made that very clear. He's like, the police are corrupt. They sent me out here, forced me out here. I'm going to play along for now, but I'm going to turn it and use this time to investigate the cops and investigate this whole thing that's going on. That's why he set up this whole investigation room. And so for Travis King, this isn't, hey, I'm just going to go explore stuff and seize opportunity. This is, okay, I'm going to follow clues and follow the case. Meanwhile, I believe Frederick Verde came out here with the intention of, okay, I got some vacation time. I'm going to try and enjoy it as best I can before I go back to the bullshit. And so for him, it would have been more, okay, I'm going to go explore some stuff, maybe check out the lake, maybe go hang out in the woods, blah, 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 maybe go meet the neighbors. For him, and I don't think that's how you wrote it. You expected, my character was very social, right? So he would go initiate with the neighbors. I haven't done that once because that's not part of my case. And so that's where I think it's gotten jumbled, and we've gotten more jumbled because we're not on the same track. Both of us are doing different things technically, and so it's been like a weird mix to where like I went to the lake only because I was like, I need to find some clues and figure out the lake is the only other location out here where there might be some kind of clues or evidence to what the fuck is going on. So I'm gonna go look at it.
And then while he went and did that, Verde saw bar squirrels. Fuck it,
Giant
vacation.
monsters.
Yeah, so he's
Fuck
like,
it,
fuck
vacation.
I'm gonna hang out and see what happens and just kind of chill. Yeah, and that worked out. You met monsters. So yeah,
Non-violent monsters though.
It's for now.
Because I think that's a key thing, is those other monsters are very predatory.
What other monsters? What are we talking about? Oh, the
King heard the story
vampires?
in the first adventure. Yeah, I believe one of the stories you said that you particularly enjoyed was the teenage daughter's story of like she was coming back to her house. She was hanging out with friends late at night on the streets, and they were going back, and like they all like went off at certain points, and she was sort of one of the last people. So when she was walking alone, she passed the cemetery, and one of the things came crawling out at her, and it was like a thwap, 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 crawling towards her at a very accelerated rate, to the point where she was sprinting home. And she confided in like that story to you, and like so, I had a point with this story. I'm sure. God damn it. Under the table here.
Hostile monsters versus not hostile monsters.
Oh yeah, hostile monsters are like that. They're predators. They're hunting people down. They go after people and are threatening. Whereas these mushroom-shaped monsters, they saw Detective Verde. And Detective Verde knows that. Both the large one and the smaller child one saw you. And they both moved on.
They just puked on some squirrels and left.
Well, yeah, they puked on the bar, and the squirrels began to drink from it. But the bar is like a whittled like stump. It's a very rough bar, but it is very much a bar.
Which begs the question, why did they just leave when the ones up to this point have been trying to kill us?
Well, they are different, we know that, but they have some similarities, but they were different.
And you've seen a third one now.
The squirrel.
Well, Travis has. Well, actually, both of you have. Little pictures and reality. It's different things. But the big thing in that mine.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That has the same skin as them.
Yeah.
The same texture.
I determined that it was some variant of them. I feel like we're playing some weird version of like a Left 4 Dead where you've got the different versions of the zombies, like the bloater, the whatever.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of concept.
Yeah.
Is what I'm getting from it. So like those ones were the spitters or something. and I don't know. Yeah, so there's a lot going on, but yeah, as far as your take on how this campaign or this adventure has gone, I'd say I'd agree. It's a little bit muddled, and I think it's just characters going into the adventure with different goals and both uncovering things that really twisted everything up. Like, I went in there to just go over my case notes and investigate some stuff. Ended up getting twirled up with, I'm the one who found the squirrel bar, and I was like, what the fuck? And then we met Paul, and I got involved with him, and I was like, what the fuck? And then I died, and like, you know, so, that whole thing. And then he went out there to just hang out and have a vacation. And then he ended up getting involved with mushroom monsters and Mime Girl and the librarians. And like, so basically Travis King is still fully convinced that he's just dead and this is the afterlife.
Fred knows what's going on. Me and Rats were having a conversation a little bit before this started. The reality is, Fred's used to this shit, but he's fed up with it.
Yeah, I love that.
He's just fed up with it. He came out here to have a vacation. All this bullshit's happening. He's like, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna sit here and drink my whiskey. I mean,
Meanwhile, Travis King
speak...
is over here like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
And okay, because this adventure could have gone so differently.
You set it up for us to go out there on vacation. I know we're probably beating a dead horse, but you set it up as forced vacation. Fred's like, all right, I understand why. I need the vacation anyways. I'm gonna go up there, hang out.
Oh no.
Ignore any weird shit that happens. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. I do. When I say it could have gone differently, I mean to say that everything you guys chose to do is what you chose to do, and that is incredibly valid. And I don't disagree whatsoever with how your characters have been. You have done what your characters would do, and this has been a misread on my part, in a sense. Like, I wanted to put this adventure a little bit later in the series, and I put it here because at the end of Adventure 1, it didn't seem like you guys were willing to ever work with each other again.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
And
basically, you guys were going to end up killing each other, so I had to make
so, yeah, I was like, let's throw this situation in, a bonding experience. Go into the cabin. They're going to drink some beers together, maybe, but they'll both be like, fuck you. Go in the woods. Oh my god, there's something in the fucking woods. Hey, did you see something in the lake? Yeah, the lake talked to me, and I'm having a problem. Like, I thought that would be like that kind of thing. But when I say things could have gone differently, and I can say this at the point where it's not possible to go down this path, but it would be hilarious, like, if you had. If you had gone to the other house early on, or the other cabin, I should say, early on, you would have found like a stodgy couple that are like, oh, we're just out here. We're, a 30 or 40 something year old couple that are just, enjoying the nature. And, oh, have you heard about... What's that?
The house that we heard is like a party house?
Yes.
Okay.
Early on, it would have been just them.
Yeah.
But after, that would be Friday. And then on Saturday, if you go there anytime like after 2 p.m., there would be a party house there.
Oh, okay.
Of just dudes. And like, that's the thing, where it could be interesting to have the charismatic character go to a house full of dudes that are just having a good time partying and being like, you know what? Jesus, you're all football players. That's obvious. Let's like, I don't know. Maybe you could help us out with things. Be a force. That's a stretch, actually. I don't have the good arguments. I just put things out there being like, maybe it's something possible that players can work with. And I really think that a flaw in this adventure is the idea that you guys would be going out and doing random things or interacting with random things, because the campaign setting is built on the idea that you're addressing a case, and that's how you approach things. Is there's a case, because there is, but a lot of the clues and additional things were hidden behind non-case based clues, and so go ahead.
So I see what you're saying, but the way the characters reacted to everything, it just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, no, and that's why I'm just saying it could have gone different ways, but the way your characters approached the scenario, you blazed your path.
Right.
Wrath, did you look like you have something you want to say?
So I've got two questions. One directly relates to that, but before I ask that, I'm curious, if I had never gone to the lake, what would have happened? Because now I have something imbued in my skin, this tattoo.
In your very soul.
Yeah, I have this tattoo and this ring that has somehow allowed me to, quote unquote, survive being underwater all night, which I still think I'm dead, but mechanically speaking, so far has allowed me to breathe underwater. If I had just never gone to the lake, how would you have incorporated? I mean, is that something, as from DM to DM, is that something that you would incorporate at some other point because it needs to be given to a player, or is that something that we would have just missed, or like what?
I say that's something optional for what I want to do.
Okay.
It's something optional that'll be kick-ass later.
Hopefully.
But I couldn't force you to do that, right?
Right, yeah.
That was an anchored clue, if you will,
Completely optional.
or an anchored item.
My second question is, okay, so if you could rewrite this adventure specifically for our characters as they are, what would you have changed? And I know the easy answer is I would have made things clue-based. How? What would that look like?
That's very much a after next session question.
Oh, is it? Okay. That's perfectly
because
fine.
I do have the answers for that.
That's perfectly fine. No, you don't have to answer if it's going to give stuff away. Absolutely, save it. We can discuss it next time.
I can give a vague answer. Okay. I would say I would go practical rather than magical.
Interesting. Okay, I'm curious to know more. I have a feeling. I'm just gonna speculate. I don't want you to give anything away. I'm just gonna speculate. Yeah. I would assume it would involve more getting familiar with the factions, learning more about the factions and how they play into everything. I feel like it would go more that route. Is what I'm assuming. Yeah, and maybe seeing the effect of things on the world, but not seeing them directly happening in front of you. You would see, like, this area's fucked up, and people would be like, yeah, this area's fucked up. Like, those stones are all upside down from probably, like, paranormal shit. Like, effects of things happening from the past, or, like, things happening over time. Like, what's her fuck? Purple Girl has been here for centuries or whatever, so, like, she's been interacting with the world, and you'd see effects of that over time. So maybe more play with mortals, the factions, getting to know more about them, and more play with effects of the paranormal rather than dealing with the paranormal, taking a step back from that. That's a speculation of what I think you're thinking of, but again, don't confirm or deny. Save it for next time.
Let's just jump over really quick and see if we eat our words next week. Because I think Fred had the most challenging question of the session. And I feel like a DM's worth is based on like the question that really makes people like go, oh shoot, what do I do? Which way do I go? Not what do I do, but which way do I go?
When and that was his voice?
With the success, I think at that point was like, well, that entire process actually of trying to decide how to throw your voice and then how to use the results and then how to interact with something that you are realizing is a powerful force that Wrath is very familiar with.
I was so mad when he met I have been chasing this fucking Purple Girl for like 4 campaigns. And you just fucking met her, and you're like, hey, and she's like, hi. And I'm like, what the fuck? You don't just get to meet her. I've been chasing her for years. This is not fair. I was so mad. I was typing in chat, just mass spamming. I was like, fucking fuck.
Yeah, the girl in the purple coat, very elusive. Something that has been a part of the shitty lore that I'm trying to start off a catastrophe engine to burn.
I've literally been chasing her for campaigns. Multiple campaigns I've been chasing this fucking girl and I could never get her. And here Fred's just like, hey. I was like, you do not. It was great.
But you learned a lot more, I think, because you've known her from other campaigns as something that entities are like, hey, have you seen a girl in the purple coat?
Basically, everyone's chasing her. The gods, humans, organizations, everyone's chasing this fucking girl. That's my meta knowledge from past campaigns.
And so she's been chased. She has very little time, of course. And she has rings.
She has 5 rings, which I'm also pretty sure I'm familiar with.
Yes, you probably are.
Mm-hmm. She also spoke to someone who offered to burn people, and I was like, I think I know him too.
Oh, fuck that guy too.
Yeah, I was like, and the biggest fucking reveal, she knows Cyrus. I was like, oh my god.
I feel very bad for Cyrus, but when we save him,
what? Basically, Meta knowledge. I don't know if I want to get into this. Cyrus is probably my most favorite character I've ever made in my life ever. Probably, yeah. I hold him in such high regard. He's like a treasured gem. Only because I feel like he is a character that I've played different from every other character I've ever done. And he's fucked up. He's really fucked up.
Yeah.
And he's terrifying. Like, he would scare me.
Because he was military. He was like
very highly
grabbed by the
trained.
government.
Yep.
The government used him. He had, what was it? Latent telepathic?
Yeah, he had telepathic abilities to where he could like enter people's minds.
Yeah, and what did I call that at the time?
Psionics.
Yeah, psionics.
Gray? No, it wasn't gray. It was I don't
blue
remember
coat, perhaps.
Color, yeah, maybe. Basically, he worked military. He was very highly trained by the government and everything, and he was basically a superhero, a mutant who hunted other mutants for the government and would hunt them down and kill them or contain
Project
them.
X shit.
Yeah, his story's wonderful. I fucking love it.
But that was the start of the god cycle, if you will.
Yeah, it pretty much goes downhill from there.
Yeah, but his psionics, what kind of color did they call it?
That's what I was trying to remember. I can't. Was it blue?
Coat.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. I think it was blue. Oh, the guy in the blue coat. Oh my god, have you seen the guy in a blue coat? Okay, I'm putting pieces together.
This is the Under the Table. I really hope that people watch Under the Table first. And if you haven't been doing it that style, watch Under the Table first, and then watch the episode, and you're gonna be like, I'm so much smarter than all the players and the DM.
I know what they're talking about. Yeah. Maybe one day I'll do like maybe if Pickles wants to get on, we'll just do a podcast where we talk about maybe some of the lore of what we're using, so it makes a little bit more sense. Because I use some of the stuff in King's Crossing as well. Cyrus is in King's Crossing, and it's not good. It's very bad. I'm so excited.
I just have a redemption arc for Cyrus, but
yeah, Cyrus is a very interesting character, and I'm no great TTRPG player or anything like that, but Cyrus is just a work of art that I'm very proud to be connected with, but also very ashamed of.
So, my question is, why out of all of us was I the one to meet the lady?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
To meet the purple coat lady?
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't know. I guess offhand. It's just you're the one in the woods. Travis could have gone into the woods, and perhaps that would have happened to him. But you have bad luck, don't you?
I have a lot of it.
You've also dealt a lot more with the mimes. You have a lot more connection to the mimes than I do, and I feel
like why the fuck did they like you? Maybe that's the question you should ask.
Mimes haven't involved themselves with me at all.
Why did they come to you? And give you a piece of weird metal. And the question I think that also counteracts that is, so your first interaction with mimes was that tunnel that you went with Officer Heim, not Ham. and you, sorry, that I don't like that officer. We need to just not use him. It makes me giggle every time.
Okay.
You went into the tunnel with him. You saw the murals of the mimes protecting, and when you went past that, he turned into like a hideous mime and was scaring you, and you didn't shoot him in the belly with your shotgun.
Right.
So, in that sense, mimes are a negative image there. And that's one of the things, is like everything except for your interaction with the purple coat girl and that past a certain point in the tunnels. Did mimes ever like have a negative to you?
I don't see where you're going with this.
I guess I'm not really going anywhere with that.
Find out next time.
Well, I guess other than that, things are not exactly clear. which side of the line are you on, and which side?
I mean, he figured that out.
What is truth and what is false?
Yeah.
He figured that out as soon as he started talking to Purple Coat Girl.
I think every faction or every player, like person involved, every faction involved is telling their own story, and they're going to tell you their side of it, and it's going to favor their side. And so it's going to be up to us, and by that I mean you, to figure out which side you agree with and which one you can kind of pick apart and be like, okay, this is true. This is true from this story. This is true from this story, to try and figure out what the actual truth of the whole situation is, and then figure out which side are you going with.
I think Verde is uniquely suited for that, though. He's a police detective, so he's used to getting two different sides of the same issue and figuring out which one's closer to the truth.
Where I feel like Travis King would be more, he just plays people, and so he'd like be friendly. You're under arrest. Like, oh, cool. So, like, you know, so and so. Cool. Where is he? We're like old friends. Oh, he's right there. That's him. Okay. Hey, you're coming with me. You're under arrest. Like, he's not like you. I agree with you. I think you'd definitely be the better bet.
Something I've heard and I agree with is there's always three sides to a story. Yours, mine, the truth.
Exactly what I was talking about, yeah.
Yeah. The most likely outcome.
The truth being the story Titan tells.
Well, and that's the thing. But I'd like to end this. I know you're trying to end it with that line. That was a good line. But
thanks. Yeah, I've done a couple of outros, waiting to see, because I know you're on a time limit. So I've done a couple lines to like end it on, and then you guys kept going, which is perfectly fine. But
the big thing to end this on, for you guys thinking about which faction do we trust, who is trying to help us. The librarians have given you information, but they haven't protected you. They haven't stayed with you to help you.
They've made their
Flame
clear, though.
Yes, they made it clear. Chosen of Flame haven't interacted with you at all. The mimes have been with you and have come back to protect you, presumably, or help you out, or alarm you to a situation that's going on. And Purple Coat Girl is not here at this current time to help you. I feel like this is a situation where you could say...
I feel like she's giving us the truth more than the mimes are.
Well, it could be true. I could be trying to mislead you here with my little thing about like actions speak louder than words, but that sounds like mime propaganda. Now that I say it, here on Strange Town of Golden Ridge,
don't listen to that mime propaganda.
Cut out to Travis King just stepping on squirrels.
Stop it! Get away! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me!
That's it for this one. That's Under the Table with Fred, Mr. Pickles, and myself. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You can catch us next Sunday on YouTube. You'll see another one of these popping up. Otherwise, you can catch these every week on Sunday at 7 p.m. We play these games, so you can catch us live on twitch.tv/theofficialwrath. Links in the down there and all that. That's all I got. You guys got anything else?
One more session and then it's King's Crossing on Sundays.
Oh shit, really? We're going back to mine?
Well, that like next session's the last session.
Oh, I better start preparing.
You better fucking yeah.
Thanks for 2 weeks notice.
Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Actually, he did say that earlier. I just didn't even put two and two together.
Just reminded.
Remember, I won't be here next week.
Yeah. So technically, I've got 3 weeks to prepare. Yeah. Thank you, guys. That's it from us. So, King's Crossing is Saga 1. The first saga is coming back to stream real soon, which is good because I think we're almost out of YouTube videos. Those have been posting every week as well. So we'll get more of those coming here real soon. All right, that's it from us. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time. If you're here on the stream, tomorrow is Drinks and Discussions, the RPG podcast, with a mini-series starting up, hosted by Mr. Pickles. So if you're ready for more, you get it tomorrow.
This fucking guy.
Okay, bye.
Adios. Love you.